Hello. Happy Monday. Happy holiday Monday, I should say. For those of you who have been enjoying your day today, as I have, welcome. Thank you for taking a little time to come and join us today. As folks are coming in, thank you. What you're listening to is a song by Brannis McKenzie. It's called Sisters at the Well. She's up in Oakland, Northern California area, in Oakland, California. And she wrote this song for us, Sisters at the Well. So good evening. Come on in, Tracy, Erica, Charlene, Linda. See you all. Hope you guys are good today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me introduce myself. I am Barbara Perkins. I'm a veteran life coach, an author, a speaker, successful business owner, and the founder and creator of Sisters at the Well. Sisters at the Well is a community of women, over 600 of us. We come together really to dispel the myth that black women don't like to be with each other. We know that's not true. So we've been meeting since 2003. That's when Sisters at the Well first started. And then for the past 8 weeks, we've been meeting virtually right here on Monday evenings at 7 o'clock. We come in for about 30 minutes. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Sister Deb. We come in for about 30 minutes. I'm going to turn Brannis down a little bit. But we come in and we give ourselves some time to talk about some of the things that are on our mind, especially now during this COVID-19 season. And it's been a joy, really, to be in company and community with you. We've had some great conversations. We talked about fear and grief and the resiliency of women. And then we talked for the last 2 weeks about creativity and beginning to build your legacy. And that's been extra special because I'm still getting calls and emails regarding the legacy sessions we did. So we're going to get started. Thank you for coming in. We're not going to keep you long, but we're going to have a great time in the next 25 minutes or so. I shared last week, because I get so many emails and inbox messages about questions pertaining to the session that we had, I asked those who would like for me to answer questions, if I can get to them, I will answer one question each day before we start on our today's topic. So the question was, let me read it. How do we remain focused during this pandemic time? There are so many free webinars, live streams, and promotions for becoming a better you or a more successful you. The person said, I end up getting so confused and overwhelmed. How do I calm myself down and not try to do all of these things that I see on social media, even though they're good ideas? Now, I think that's a great question, because I don't know if you feel like I do, but quickly within the first 2 weeks, I started feeling what I call Zoom fatigue. It was just too much. It was this idea that because we're home, we can just say yes to everything and begin to take on all of these commitments online, and it doesn't seem like it's taking a toll on us, but actually it's taking a greater toll on us than if we were meeting physically, because we don't have the stillness in between the sessions. You know, it's from one webinar to one Zoom meeting, our family meetings. It's the only way we're keeping up with family. So you actually get overwhelmed. What I would say to the person who asked this question, and if it resonates with you, is it is so important to find still time. I'm a coach, and of course you all know that. Most of you know that. I've been a coach for 20 years. And one of the first things I do when I take on a new client is I, of course, ask them what it is they want to get out of the relationship with me as a coach. And then what is it that they want to pursue in terms of their own commitments? One of the first things I do is I ask to see their calendars. And when I ask to see the calendars, what I'm looking for is how the calendar, what's on it, how it reconciles with what the person says it's important to them. So I look for that. And then the big thing that I look for is the white spaces. I call them the white spaces. Those are the breaks in between, so that you're not running from one meeting to the next, from one call to the next. And certainly our job sometimes requires that. But what we must build into our calendars and into our day-to-day, including being home, sheltered in, we must include stillness. Even if it's only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, where you actually allow the previous meeting to settle in and begin to go away. Hi, Karina. Hi, Tracy. So that's what I do, and that's what I recommend. That even although you're home and it seems like you can really take on more and more and more, protect yourself from mental fatigue, because that's what will happen. If you don't find a way to have the breaks in between your Zoom meetings and your webinars and your commitments, we will come out of this thing, and we don't know when we're fully out of it, but you will come out more overloaded than you were before you got in here. And that would not be so great. So I hope that answers your question. And now we'll get to our topic for today. Again, if you're just coming on, I'm Coach Barbara Perkins, and this is Real Talk with Love. And today we're talking about what I call the H.E.A.R.T method. Again, so much of what we're seeing online is, how do we become a better us? How do you sustain your business? How do you become successful at what you're doing? All those things are so important, right? Let me start a new career. How do I reinvent myself? Real important. Great questions. Or how do I recreate my business? What I see a lot, and of course this is a $1 billion industry on how to create successful businesses. There are books on every shelf in every bookstore about building your business. And certainly there are some critical tools that you need to build your business. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about what I call the 5 essential qualities for a successful you. And take that in. Hi, Coralie. 5 essential qualities for a successful you is very different. I didn't say for your business. I'm talking about you. There was a study done this week, and it was quite disturbing, actually. Forbes magazine reported on a research project that was done and about this COVID-19 period, and where small businesses in particular are right now, and what the future looks like for small businesses. And what that study said is that by the end of this year, within the next 7 or 8 months, well, it said really 6 months, within the next 6 months, small businesses, at the rate of about 45% of them, will be closed. Now take that in, because it might include you. That small businesses are having such a difficult time holding on through this crisis that, in fact, the prediction is that they will close. Forbes magazine reported on that, and Black Enterprise. I think Black Enterprise said 45%, and Forbes magazine said 50%. That's not good. What happens? What happens in a crisis like this? It's very easy to say we should have 6 months resources set aside. That's true. But most small businesses do not have that kind of capital. So when I read that, I was really disturbed, and I thought, what is it that's going to make the difference between the 45 or 50% of businesses that are out of business by the end of the year and those that are still here, holding on and actually thriving through this? Because again, research has shown that after a recession, there are other opportunities that allow new businesses to grow and develop and thrive. So what are the 5 essential qualities that you should have, that we should have, that determines our business is different and that we will get past this and get through it? I call it the H.E.A.R.T, H-E-A-R-T, the heart assessment. And the first quality is humility. Humility. Grounded in gratitude, being other-centered. When your business and you can focus on the promotion of someone else, the service to someone else. When your life and the work that you do speaks for you. Humility. Where you don't have to depend on your promotion of yourself, where the things and the service that you do promotes who you are. Because it's not what you say, it's how you show up that matters. It's how you show up and how what you do impacts someone else. So humility. The second quality is empathy. When you have a feeling for others, once again, this is being other-centered, being able to see something from someone else's point of view. It doesn't mean you have to not have your own opinion and your own point of view, but when you can have compassion and understanding for what someone else thinks, when you can stand in their shoes for a moment, right? Again, it's not the words, it's how you show up, right? So, humility, empathy. The third quality, accountability. And accountability is so important because you have to take responsibility and less credit. Dr. H.E.A.R.T was my mentor, Dorothy Irene H.E.A.R.T, and she would always say things like, don't worry about whose name is on the marquee. Just show up and do the work. And that always stayed with me. Just show up and do the work. Don't worry so much about whether or not you're getting the credit or whether or not your business is shining above someone else's, or whether or not you got called up to the stage, or whether or not you got selected to be on the A-team. Less credit, right, and more responsibility. You can't imagine how much people watch what you do. They watch to see what is your posture. How do you show up? People do business with other people. They're not just doing business with you because of the products and the services you have. They may come to you initially because of the product and the service that you have. But what sustains a relationship, any relationship, is what you do. It's your actions. Is this resonating with you? If it is, throw me some hearts. Let me know that you're connected to what I'm saying. It is so important when you're growing your business that you spend even more time growing you. And the growing you is spending the time on the qualities that give you the assurance that no matter what, you can be proud of what you're doing. that the people that you're serving, they actually know that you're serving them because you really want to. I can tell you for sure, anyone that I've ever coached, they know that I'm having just as much time and fun with the services that they're having. That is exactly what I try to do. I try to make sure I bring my whole self to the relationships that I have with my clients. And that's what I'm asking you to consider. These qualities, these 5 qualities: humility, empathy, accountability. Those first 3 qualities are essential for the success of yourself, and then it translates over to the success of your business. The 4th quality, resilience. Resilience is when you fall down, acknowledge it. I fell. And then get up. And then you repeat the cycle. Every time you fall down, every time there is a disappointment, acknowledge it. Stay in gratitude and see it differently and get up. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Raquel. Stay in gratitude. Gratitude is what lifts you up above all of the pain. When you can take your mind off of what did not go right, what is not going exactly the way you planned, and move yourself to, however, I'm in gratitude because I'm still here. I'm still standing. My business is still open. I'm still having a download every morning with new ideas. That gratitude is what pushes you forward and brings about the resilience that you need, the determination to weather the storm. Disappointments will come. It's not easy. Building a business, building a better you is not easy. You will find that there will be moments when you feel betrayed. There will be moments when you feel that you're misunderstood. There will be moments when you think nobody really cares about your struggle. You will have all of that. But on the other side of that, once you get up, is a stronger and a wiser you. The 5th quality, and the last one we'll talk about, is transparency. That's a big one. Transparency. Your willingness to be who you say you are. Because it's easy to say, this is who I am. But when people cannot see that's who you are, there's a disconnect. And sometimes that's where the hesitation comes in, right? The hesitation in relationships come, whether they're business relationships or personal relationships, when there's a little bit of mistrust or not sure if this is really the person that I think I'm dealing with. Being open, being real, being consistent, and being vulnerable. It's perfectly okay to be vulnerable. In fact, I say it's our strength. I say when you can be transparent, I'm not talking about that thing in the head that says I have to put my business out and, because we're private like that, right? I'm talking about the real core of who you are. That people know who you are. I remember when I started my coaching practice, it was based on my spiritual principles. And so I wouldn't coach for a long time. I didn't coach in corporate America because I felt like, oh my goodness, I can't, I'm going to slip up and say God at some point. I'm going to slip up and say, I'm grateful that God brought me to you. And the corporate client may not be easy with that. Well, after a while, I decided there's no way I'm going to hide the core of who I am. I'm going to live what I believe in truth, in honesty, and out loud, because that is who I am. And if I want my business client, to be in relationship with me, to trust me, I have to bring a level of honesty where there's no mistake about who Barbara is. The good and the not so good. And the not so good, we'll get that right. We'll keep working on it. We'll keep fixing it. So those are the 5 essential qualities of a successful you. I call it the H.E.A.R.T method. Applying the H.E.A.R.T method. I apply that whenever I am in a new relationship. Do I see humility? Whether it's for me or the other person? Can I see another point of view? Do I have empathy? Am I accountable for my part of the relationship? Am I accountable for that? And if things are not going the way they should go, or I want them to go, how resilient am I? Can I bounce back from a misunderstanding? That's really important, because in business, you're going to have differences of opinion. In relationships, you're going to have differences of opinion. Can you bounce back from that? And what are the ground rules that you establish for your relationships to minimize that? Because there has to be those ground rules in place. And then finally, how transparent am I? Does the person I'm creating a new relationship with, does that person really know who I am? Do they have a sense of who I am? So what it comes down to, if you want a lasting, successful, physical relationship with others, I submit that you first give yourself the gift of a spiritual, close knowing of yourself. Give that gift to you first. Work on you. Because you will always be able to build your business. You will have the tools. I can tell you, I see so many clients who are very successful, who have maybe risen to the top of the food chain in their companies, but they're not so happy on the inside. And that has to do with spending all the time on building the business, building the external. I'm going to offer to you that you build from the inside first, and the outside will certainly come. If you have questions for me, please put them in the thread. I will try to answer them next week when we show up, or you can inbox me. I will be happy to try and answer as many questions as I can. I certainly hope this heart conversation that we had this evening has been helpful to you. It's always my joy to come before you, and I don't take it for granted that you could be on another live somewhere. You could be on a webinar, but you took your time to spend 30 minutes with me. And for that, I say thank you. I'm Coach Barbara. I'm available online. I will put my web address in the thread if you'd like to reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you. But before we leave, I want to share with you, all of this is Real Talk with Love, right? This is Sisters at the Well, presents Real Talk with Love. And everything that I try to do, I try to put a little love on it. So throw up some hearts if that resonates with you as well. But you know, I always share something. So today I want to share a book. And here it is. Now, the last time I did it, I had it upside down. Can you see it? And is it the right way? Yeah? I'm going to offer, this is called The Definitions of Love. And it is by Althea Macmillan. You can find this book on Amazon. I'm offering this today to to the person who's the most engaged on the thread. And we, of course, we always go back out and we look through the thread and we see your comments. But this is my gift, my love offering today. It's called The Definitions of Love. Okay, but for those of you who want to, go right now on Amazon and you can order it. So that's it for the day. It's been wonderful. I love being here with you. And we're going to let Brannis play us out with Sisters at the Well. Thank you for being here. Corley, I see you. Thank you. Gwen and Tracy and Deborah and Charlene, Erica. Thank you. And Chanel, all of you, thank you for being here. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Hi, Annette, my friend. Bye-bye.